So I want to talk about, when it's past the point of emergency, it's past the point of crisis. The crisis could have been prevented, but there were, I suppose, people that wanted to for that crisis to happen. All right, so and one of those people we I think aware, plenty of us are aware, and wow, when people grow up, I suppose, and I mean, really, I'm an adult, and well, you're not a real good one. How about that? So, when things are past the point of crisis, past the point of an emergency, and it's kind of important. Things might sort of spin around, and you kind of don't know what's spinning around, and is it going to spit something out? And if it spits something out, is that going to, what kind of harm might it do? What is it that might be spit out? So I think about, you know, you know, where we're at, and well, people have been killed. People have been killed, people have died. I mean, is death normal? I mean, I don't know. What is there to say about death? When someone dies, that person is no longer around for you to see, for you to talk to, for you to spend time with. That person is no longer around to live their life, to do things they enjoy, to do things. And many people died 6 years ago, and beyond that, and I have to be careful talking about that, but yeah, there were many deaths, and it just what's happened, it's so far past the point of crisis, and I'm not going to talk about that, but what's going on? Every day is an emergency. Every day is, it's too late for some things. Every day, something has been taken further towards more and more atrocity. So we are fighting against atrocity. Atrocity is occurring. Are there times in history when it's not as bad? I'd like to think so, but but right now, what's going on? We're having to fight against the atrocity that's going on, trafficking, human trafficking, people not. There are people talking about that. I think it's possible some people who have talked about that have been threatened, and again, people have been killed. All right, so past the point of emergency. And do you ever get, when there is a crisis, until the crisis is resolved, do you get past the point of crisis, or are you kind of caught in the crisis? The crisis is going on. All right, so I think there are different ways of thinking about it, talking about it. A person could say it's just a matter of time. Well, it just being a matter of time doesn't change the fact that before what happens that needs to happen to stop the harm, there's a lot going on. So yeah, I think, again, grown-ups, people that think they grew up and they're mature, and yeah, they are intelligent, and yeah, maybe there's some, something where wouldn't it be nice to sit some people down and do some kind of work having to do with, ethics and reteaching what it is to be human. Maybe we could take people camping, backpacking, camping, how about a few days? And yeah, let's get out there. And yeah, we might have to go ways to get water. And don't forget to bring your filter if you have one. I'm not talking about, yeah, let's go have fun. Right. I think that's probably pretty clear. What needs to happen? Again, when it's past the point of emergency, and it's crisis, you know, I mean, I guess you just keep fighting. I guess you keep fighting until some things are stopped. And for some of us, because of our status, as humans, it's always a fight. So no matter what happens that stops and prevents some of the worst harm, and some of the worst harm has already happened because people have been killed, have died, committed suicide in concentration camps. But even when those things are stopped, some of us are of such a status that, our lives don't really matter. So, yeah, did we help clean things up so that so and so doesn't have to have that on their conscience? Things are nice and, oh, yeah, it's all back to normal now. Well, sure, maybe for you. I mean, yeah. Well, just a few words. Sometimes there's too much deliberation. Sometimes, I think we want to be civilized enough, but sometimes there's too much deliberation. There's too much, yeah, let's use big words and we are so important. When actually, what really needs to happen is simple words, straight to the fucking point, and putting an end to the harm. All right, so just a few words thinking about, yeah, when things are past the point of crisis, when things are in this constant state of emergency. And, I could talk about how do you kind of keep yourself calm enough when that's going on. And sometimes maybe it's hard to find humor because there's so much harm going on, but yeah, so anyhow, well, here we are. Here we are. Could we make a class Crisis 101? I would imagine there's some out there, and I'm sure I'm not doing anything original. I'm sure that I mean, plenty of people saying the same things that I'm saying. And does it have an effect? It has to. What we're doing has to have an effect. It has to stop the harm. And that is not, yeah, I'm giving my life up for the greater good. I don't mind dying. That is, we are stopping the harm. We are staying alive. And yeah, not taking it where we don't want it no more. How about that? So yeah, well, just a few words, and I hope your Tuesday night is peaceful.